Exercise is good for your brain. Check out my playlist for several videos that tells us this is true, and the research behind it. But we all know if you go to the gym once or go for a quick run, your body's not going to look a whole lot different and probably isn't going to function a lot differently either. But what about the effect on your brain? If you're not much for delayed gratification, you're one of those people that would eat the marshmallow rather than waiting for some reward, then we want to understand, what can exercise do for us now? How soon can you actually expect to experience something that impacts your brain? This video explores some research behind that question, and you might be pleasantly surprised by the results. Let's get right to something exciting. If you want to learn new facts or remember specific events, we'll call this declarative memory. We want to focus on the medial temporal part of our brain, and in particular, the hippocampus. Dr. Mark Roig from Montreal, with several of his colleagues, did a meta-analysis of 29 different studies looking at how exercise might impact memory right now. Several studies supported the idea that exercise right before or right after learning new information improved memory. But is this only for kids or college students? Well, they did look at those groups. 11 and 12-year-olds had a gym class, and right after the gym class, their memory scores improved, as compared to kids who had a rest period and then took the same tests. In several different studies, they looked at healthy young adults, potentially college students. In some studies, they ran for 6 minutes. In another study, they cycled at a moderate intensity for 40 minutes. And in another study, they cycled at a moderate to vigorous intensity for 30 minutes. Afterwards, their memory scores improved. But what about older people? They were not left out. Healthy nursing home residents did 15 minutes of a cardiovascular exercise and then showed improved memory scores. Elderly people with and without mild cognitive impairment were shown visual images. They then cycled for 6 minutes, and afterwards, their memory, visual memory for those images, improved compared to people who didn't do the exercise. Dr. Marie McSween and her colleagues in Australia also wanted to understand this question with older adults in mind. So they did another review of 15 different studies. These studies had a combined total of over 400 participants who were cognitively healthy and ranged in age from 60 to 93. Study participants in the exercise groups did things like walking or stretching and other flexibility exercises combined with walking, cycling, dancing, or things like going to the gym, playing tennis, or swimming. Many of the studies also had control groups who compared the exercisers to older adults who did things like rest, sit, read, play cards, or watch videos. The duration of exercise ranged from 7 minutes to 120 minutes, and all of the studies measured the impact on cognitive functioning within 15 minutes after exercise was complete. These studies didn't actually focus on memory. They tended to focus on the area of frontal lobe or executive function, and these are the tasks that help us do the more complicated things in life. Planning, organizing, problem solving, generally the things that help us live independently and do the things that are most meaningful to us. Bottom line, 14 out of the 15 studies showed findings of an immediate significant enhancement of cognitive performance on at least one subtest following only one bout of exercise. Exercise can improve cognitive functioning immediately. So if this works, we need to know timing. What's the optimal time to be exercising and learning in order to show improved memory scores? Several studies suggest that the immediate experience of exercise either before or after learning was necessary to do the trick. When participants waited an hour or two in between exercise and the learning experience, it didn't make a difference. The authors conclude that when strategically timed, one bout of cardiovascular exercise has the potential to improve long-term retention of new material. You might also want to keep in mind that the authors suggest that having a base of some type of fitness might be helpful to make it work even better. The authors refer to this as regular bouts of exercise to maintain the molecular machinery responsible for memory processing. So you still have to take care of the car, or the high octane fuel that you use for the race isn't going to matter much. If you want more information on the impact of exercise on brain health, check out my other videos in this series. Thanks so much for coming today, and have fun with some sweaty learning.